Hey guys, it's Sky, and today is October 10th of 2019. I am 13 weeks pregnant, so this is my 13-week bump date. A lot has gone on this past week. The first thing is I did get the results back from my Harmony testing, and baby is negative for all of the trisomies. I know they test for 3 of them, Down syndrome being one, but there's two other trisomies, and all 3 of them have low probability. So I was very thankful for that, being that I am considered advanced maternal age at 36. It puts baby at a higher risk for developing that. But so far so good. Do know baby's gender, but I'm not gonna say anything until Halloween. Dad also knows, but we're not saying anything. He says he hasn't told anybody, so yeah, well, everyone will find out on Halloween. So I think I'm gonna start posting my updates around that time as well, so you guys will know as well. So I did the Harmony, found out gender, and also we found out that baby is also at risk of having sickle cell. I was given the option to go to an MFM practice over in Vermont, and they would do CVS testing. I believe it's chorionic villi sampling. I believe that's what it stands for. And that is when they put it's like a thin catheter through the cervix into the uterus and scrape some cells basically, and then send it off for testing. But this testing runs the risk of a miscarriage, and I don't want to risk that because I feel that my guilt would be greater if I were to do that and have a miscarriage, knowing I was just seeing whether the baby had sickle cell and then I miscarry, versus me going full term and finding out that baby has sickle cell. Because either way, there's nothing we would do during pregnancy. It's just some things that we have to look out for after baby is born. I've spoken to 2 pediatricians, and they both said that there's nothing to do until my baby starts having symptoms, and then the symptoms are managed. So right now I'm just not going to do any further testing with that. They did offer me the quad screening, which is at week 16, and that tests for spinal or neural tube defects, like spina bifida. So it just so happens that I will be 16 weeks on Halloween, which is October 31st, the last day of the month, and that's when my insurance ends because my travel assignment is getting ready to end. Thank God I'm on my way home in 2 weeks. But anyway, I have coverage until the end of the month. So the very last day of the month, like I said, I'll be 16 weeks. I can get that test done, and then hopefully I have another job lined up and I'll be able to continue my insurance coverage. But I will be able to get that test covered because it is on the last day of the month. So I'll make sure I'll go that morning and get that. It's just a lab draw, so they'll do that. And then I have to establish care down in Alabama. I was actually thinking about doing a home birth, not in my home, but the birthing center. It's not an official birthing center, but she's a certified midwife and has a practice. Alabama just started allowing home births. So she actually practices out of Mississippi, which is about 20 to 30 minutes away from where we live in Alabama. So I would go to, it's called a guest house. It's actually next door to her office, in the same duplex, and it's a house and people go there to have babies, but she has all her medical equipment there, and it's similar to doing a home birth but without all the cleanup. And I do want the experience of a home birth, mainly because I want to have a water birth. in the hospitals, you can labor in the tub, but once you get like to transitioning and, you know, especially when you're dilated, they don't allow you to be in the tub. And to me, that's when you need to be in the tub. I don't think that women were designed to have babies hooked up to monitors and strapped to a bed. So, I don't know, it's probably what's going to end up happening to me. But in my ideal fantasy world, I would have a water birth at this guest house. She says that it's 10 minutes away from the hospital, and that she's only had to go to the hospital once in her practice. She's been practicing a total number of, I think it was either 17 or 19 years. And yeah, I will be seeing an OBGYN because she can't order ultrasounds or sonograms, and she can't order medications. So if I would need any kind of medicines or like my 20-week ultrasound, the OB has to do that. So she has some, what did she say it was? Doula-friendly OBGYN. She has some practices that she recommends, that because not all OBs will even see you if they know that you intend to have an at-home birth. So that's definitely something to consider. But I like the fact that there is an OB that will be familiar with me throughout my pregnancy. That way, God forbid, if any complications arose in my labor, you know, I had to go to the hospital, that person would know and be familiar with me. It's not like I'm just walking in off the street having a baby. But I think it would be all in Mississippi. So I don't know. Dad is not too thrilled with it, and neither is my mom or my sister. So I don't know. It's not completely out of the question. And, you know, Mike says that he would consider it, but he really doesn't feel comfortable with it. So I probably won't do it, but it's something I did speak to the midwife for about 35 minutes last night and got all the details and things like that. But we'll see. I'm also considering another practice that I want to go visit when I get down there. They operate out of one of the hospitals there. And I'll decide after that. So like I said, I'm up here in New York for 2 more weeks, and then I have to drive 20 hours back home. I'll stop halfway, like at North Carolina is 10 hours from where I'm at, so that'll be a good halfway stopping point. See my friend and spend the night there, and then get back on the road the next day. When I was traveling up here, my feet swole, and that's the first time my feet ever did that, or my ankles rather. So that was really weird. I was like, what, 2 weeks pregnant at that time, 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm curious to see how this trip home is gonna be. I also had to stop several times as well. Like I just got really tired, and that's not like me on these road trips. You know, I always take road trips, and I love driving, and never have to stop that frequently. So this ride home should be very interesting. Let's see what else has happened this week. I think that's really it. I don't think I'm starting to show, although after I eat, I notice that my stomach sticks out more than it usually does. But when I wake up in the morning, it's not like I still have that rounded belly. So I would say that I'm not showing yet. I'm still wearing my regular clothes. Jeans are not getting tight or anything. So how much am I? I think I weigh 193. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday, and I want to say I was 193.5. That's what I was yesterday. So that's a total of 8 pounds gained. I started at 185 pre-pregnancy, so I've gained 8.5 pounds. The midwife that I see at my OBGYN said that you know, that's appropriate, that you can gain 1 pound a week for that first trimester. So, you know, I'm good. So she said, she asked me how do I eat during the day. Like, do I kind of graze? Or I was like, yeah, I'm definitely a grazer. And she said, that's fine as long as you're not grazing on like sugary foods or, you know, a whole bunch of white carbs. And I was like, oh, so that's what I snack on a lot of times. So I have to improve my eating habits because I feel like when I do start putting on weight, it's all gonna come on a lot. I don't want to be over 200 pounds at delivery, but I'm already 193, so I know I am. And that number is just a number in my head. People who've had weight loss surgery have like these numbers that they want to get to, goal weights, and never do I want to see above this. We all have those, and 200 is my cutoff. So I know that when I get above 200, I'm going to be very uncomfortable and self-conscious, if I'm honest. So it is what it is, though. You know, I have to grow a healthy baby. I know I have to gain weight. But I just hope I don't do too much damage. So I need to start by improving my eating habits, you know, now. I think I'm not gonna say that it hurt me, but the fact that I didn't have any nausea or morning sickness, so I didn't have that whole food aversion, and, you know, I didn't lose any weight. People say that they get pregnant and then they end up losing weight, and then they slowly put it back on throughout the pregnancy. That didn't happen to me. Not at all. Like I said, I had a few episodes of some vomiting, but nothing consistent, nothing I had to complain about or take medications for or anything like that. So yeah, we'll see what the rest of this pregnancy brings. I am not complaining. I'm so thankful that this little nugget has been treating me well. So I just pray that I continue to have a healthy and safe pregnancy, and then have a healthy baby. So I think that's it for this bump date. I will see you next week when I am 14 weeks. All right, bye guys.